We're going to be studying the integumentary system first. This is his forehead. Right here are his lobes. This is his beak. Up here is his crown of his head. This is his neck and crop region. Down here, all of this are his feathers. And then you're going to see down here, these are his feet. These feet are for walking, mostly. And then within this, we have the feathers. Excuse me. These are his primary feathers, the longest ones. And these will be his secondary feathers, the ones that are medium and small. And they're also called the interflight feathers. The shorter ones are in here too. And this would be one of his primary feathers. As you can see, we already ripped it off. So this first part, normally on a feather, here we can use this one. This is called the inferior umbriel, and then this small part right here is the after feather, and this entire feather part are the barbs. Well, the thing that runs in the middle are the veins. So besides the feather, you have, when he's walking, you can kind of see the flank. It would be his leg piece over here, like the equivalent to our thigh, and his leg. This is his entire leg, his wings. That would be his integumentary system. Right here you can see the trachea. It comes up from the nose and down to here, into the trachea and into the lungs. Right here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a lung right here, and on the other side we have another one. Right here, this is a remnants of an air sac. It's kind of hard to see it because most of it is membranous. So when it's preserved, it tends to not preserve really well. And then we might have another air sac down here, and that's the respiratory system.
We will now be discussing the digestive system. Here on our pigeon, we'll start with the mouth. The mouth has a hard beak, which allows it to crack the seeds and other food that it may eat that's really hard. You might notice that it doesn't have any teeth. That's an adaptive feature that makes it lighter, so it has less bones, and it makes it be able to fly better because it makes it lighter. So they eat through the mouth, and then the food goes all the way down through the esophagus into this. This is called the crop. Now, if you notice, the crop is made for storage. And see, there's its corn, the feed it was digesting before it was killed before our dissection, which was pretty interesting. All right, and then after it goes through the crop, it goes down to our proventriculus, which is also known as the stomach. It's down here, you can't really see it, it's probably behind the heart a little bit. After it goes to when it's in the proventriculus, which is the stomach, there is a release of hydrochloric acid, and it disrupts the extracellular matrix that binds cells together in food material like the seeds or the corn. And then that's for chemical digestion over in the proventriculus. And once it goes through the proventriculus, it goes through this thing, the gizzard. The gizzard is lined with a rough keratin-like layer called koilin, and you see if I touch it, it's really, really hard. This is done for mechanical digestion, and sometimes it contains grit, which is small stones that pigeons pick up, and the pigeon has the stones in there which help grind the food together so it can further be broken down mechanically after it's been chemically digested. And then after that, it goes through the intestines, which is down here, and then in the intestines is where we get our nutrient absorption after we've had the mechanical and the chemical digestion. That's where the nutrients are absorbed, and then it goes through the rectum, and then the rectum is located here inside the cloaca. The cloaca is basically a shared hole for excretory system, for the digestive system, and reproductive system. So it all comes out of this shared hole here. And then over here we have the liver. The liver is an accessory structure, and the intestines receive bile that is made in the liver right here. And in the liver there is a gallbladder, and the gallbladder is what stores right there. The gallbladder stores the bile, that goes into the, right there. The gallbladder goes into, that stores the bile, which goes into the intestines, which helps with nutrient absorption. Well, here's the gizzard cut open. And the gizzard, like I said, is the place where mechanical digestion is being done after it's gone through the stomach and the hydrochloric acid has broken down bonds to open up the stuff. Maybe. It might be a corn kernel. It might be a seed kernel. It looks like we've got some grain in here. And that's the inside of the gizzard. That's part of his meal that he was digesting before he passed. Oh, and then here's a stone. Like previously I said, they might gulp stones to help with their mechanical digestion. And that's the gizzard.
Okay, so this is the heart in the body cavity here. And from a ventral view, you can see that the subclavian veins would be here on the right side. The veins are always on the right side here. And this is the, well, I guess you can see, but here on this top section, this is the left auricle, and this is the right auricle here. And the arteries on this side, which is the subclavian artery, the common carotid artery, and then on the dorsal view, you can see this would be the aorta, this would be the postcaval, this would be the pulmonary artery here. That scared me. And the precaval.
Okay, so this is the pancreas, and it produces digestive enzymes that are secreted into the small intestine. And then it digests also all the fats, and it plays a role in protein digestion. And it also neutralizes the acidic food mixture coming from the gizzard, so the digestive enzymes can work. And it also produces insulin that is important for blood regulation. Got it? Okay, so these right here are the kidneys, and there's a set right here on this side and also on this side right here. And here's where the urine is produced, and it regulates volume and composition of blood.
Alright, now I'm going to talk about the reproductive organs of the pigeon. This is obviously a male because we have two testes here. The testes are small relative to their body size because this is an adaptation that allows them to fly better, because it's smaller, makes them lighter. And then the birds, they mate through a cloacal kiss, meaning that the testes that produces sperm and stuff will go through the cloaca of the pigeon, and both the cloaca of the male and the female will, like I said, make a kiss. It's a strange term, but and that is internal fertilization for the pigeon. And then that's it. And since we had a male pigeon, I'm going to use our chicken model, which is obviously a female due to the presence of the egg. Birds and pigeons, they have one ovary, and it's also small, which helps aid in flight. In the one ovary is where the egg is created. And they usually have hard shells, but not all birds. And the egg is then expelled through the cloaca, through its reproductive organs. And that's it.
So here, down the center, this is the keel, which is centered between the two pectoral muscles. So here on the pigeon, we have the cervical vertebrae. And on the wing, this is a wrist joint here with phalanges. And towards the foot, we have the ankle joints, the tarsus, phalanges, and you can see the claw here, which is used to grab things. It has a particularly small beak. It's not a large bird. What else? This is the clavicle here, and behind the clavicle, it's a larger bone that they call a girdle. You can see the sternum/keel with the rib cage, and they have a pelvic girdle here. This is the pelvic girdle, and on the tail it is called the caudal vertebrae, and the pointing end that you can see here is called the phagostyle. Here we have the femur, and then the knee joint, and the fibula here, and on like towards the back or the side of it is the tibiotarsus. So for the pigeons, the pectoral muscles and the muscles in the wing are more developed to help with flight. So with this, we have the interosseous palmaris here, and the inner part of the wing, can't really see it. So here on the inside of the wing, we have the flexor digitorum sublimis, and we have the interosseous palmaris, the part that we cut out earlier. It would be the pectoral muscles, and these muscles are highly developed versus the muscles in the back and the legs because they aid in flight.
These two right here, these are the cerebral hemispheres, and they're responsible for touch, hearing, smell, and memory abilities. And here is the cerebellum, and this is for skeletal muscle balance and equilibrium. And then the rest we couldn't show you because we couldn't get to it. So here we have the two optic lobes, and these are for the sight. And this is the medulla, and it's the brain stem, and the neurons here help control heart rate, respiration, and blood pressure. And then here we have the olfactory lobes, and these are where the nasal connects to here, so it gets the sense of smell up here.